This, I'm telling you, chat, this is going to be an intense showdown. So get ready for it. Get ready. October 20th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vazquez to the stand. Miss D. Vazquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vazquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. If you must... what does that word say? Pontificate. Learning a lot of language from this game. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vazquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. The day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk. What, with the monkey's head toppling over? Manella used this van to drive Vazquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Was there anything obvious there? No. Guide map. No. Spear, no. Blocked the path to the scene of the crime between 2:15 and 4 p.m. 2:15 and 4. Why did she say that she... 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. I kinda wish she'd said a little more. It's hard, I think she's pretty used to being the boss. I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said, somewhere. Meeting began at 12 sharp, it ended at 4. There was to be rehearsal afterwards. Fatigues. Afterwards. Doesn't make any sense, does it? It does look like the road being blocked is the problem here. Let's see, there was to be rehearsal afterwards, we went to Studio 1. Fatigues, so I had Sal take me. Is this gonna work? Where was the monkey's head again? It must have been here. It was blocking the entrance to Studio 2. So if the monkey's head was there, how did she... Try that. What's wrong? Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations. Right, okay, in that case, I'm gonna just start pressing. Trying to be smart and just doing it straight away. Right, here we go. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Meeting began at 12, sharp ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same can be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. Oof! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There was rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. Wow, this woman! The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on! You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh right. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Ah. Okay, well there's the hint. Do we have some evidence to show she didn't eat a steak? We don't, do we? Because that's from the employee area. We don't have any evidence that she didn't eat the steak. This is the employee area. This is the other T-bone steak. So there were 2 sets of plates with T-bone steaks. This one was in a different area entirely. This wasn't what she's claiming to have eaten. No, Twitch chat's getting confused. Twitch chat are saying she'd have fallen asleep if she ate the steak. But no, 2 different steaks, 2 different areas of the studio. The sleeping pills were a completely different area. This has nothing to do with the sleeping pills. No. 2 p.m. No. Go back to Gotham Studios. No. It's gotta be the head, right? So we went to Studio 1. It's not the head. Alright. The plate was empty. The plate was empty. There was no bone on it. There was no bone on it. Am I missing the evidence somewhere here? And it's not that one. That's where it's getting confusing. It's not that plate. It's the other one. This is the old photo. Definitely not the camera, definitely not the scrapbook. See, I still feel like this should have something to do with it. Murder weapon, no. Guide map, no. I mean, I could try showing the other plate, but I just don't think that's got anything to do with it. It's so we got. And the hint was if we could prove that she didn't eat the steak, so I guess this is what we got. Oh, it's working. How weird. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak, but I say you did not. This is just like a really weird bluff, isn't it? Ooh, what's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. Yeah. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, now remind you, it was a T-bone steak. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will. Miss Vazquez and Mr. Manella ate at the table outside the trailer. Wow, it's really relying on you to remember this. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare! Miss Vazquez. Tell me, how could a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. Didn't eat the steak. You ate the bone too. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere. Like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vazquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Picking on salmonella. My god, these options are hilarious. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vazquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. But, Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vazquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? Ooh. She couldn't, right? She couldn't, surely not. I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I could prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon, because it was broken. How could it be used as a murder weapon if it's broken? Take that! I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell, what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? Alright, it all comes down to this. And I think we do have a big hint in our evidence from 5 years ago. If the murder happened at Studio 2, which is this location, and the wound looked like a wound from a spear, I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the murder weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again! Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss Vazquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Haha, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you in my scriptwriting stuff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, the Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She couldn't deal with it? I bet she could move it. She had another way. Well, she probably moved it with the van, right? Could she have, like, put it in the van and then dumped it and then discovered it all at the same time? And I go with, I bet she could move it. You'd be surprised. I bet she could do it. When people think their life depends on it, they can do a No, that's not right. Mr. Wright, this is not an episode of That's Incredible. What's That's Incredible? If you claim she did everything in 15 minutes, let me guess. Show me proof? Yeah. Correct. Show me proof. How am I supposed to do that? Then I won't have you making unsubstantiated claims. Wait a second. How does he know what I'm thinking? Ha! I need only look at the cold sweat running down your face to know what you're thinking. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to reconsider your claim? Yes. Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? Right, it must be she had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body? Other than with her own hands? I thought her moving the body with the van was what we were going with, but okay, that's fine. For instance, actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. It's the van. It's gotta be right. Miss Vazquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Objection! Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Seems like an important question. So, Sal Manella does everything he's told by Vazquez, right? Could she have loaded the body in the back and then had him drive and have him not know about the body? Is that possible? I'm gonna go with, of course he wasn't. Because I don't think his lies would have held up. I don't think his lies would have held. I feel like she wouldn't have trusted him for that. So I'm gonna say he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. Ha! So without Mr. Manella noticing anything, she put the body in the van, then managed to put the body into the costume. Are you seriously suggesting that is possible? Of course I'm not serious. Oh, for goodness sake. It was wrong. I was kidding to lighten up the proceedings. Oh, Phoenix. Lighten? You can't lighten up a murder. Mr. Wright, the court requests you refrain from making claims in jest. Yes, Your Honor. Of course Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. I was wrong. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vazquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vazquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. Wait, what? Is she just confessing now? I win? So, what happens next? Don't question mark me. Did you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean... Vazquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle? You proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course. It's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it. But, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure? Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? You did it. We're accusing her. Ms. Vazquez, you did it! That wasn't a question. Did you do it? No. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I'm not sure that question helped this court get any closer to a verdict. What do I do now? Right, testify again. I'd like you to testify again. Testify? Again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I say before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn! Damn! To come so far only to fail! As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Ms. Vazquez. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well. Your Honor! I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I am your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vazquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, Edgeworth's on our side now? Indeed, verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issue raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hannah in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh, what did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try listening to what people are saying, boy. But boy? The witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember, What? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body, and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vazquez. Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vazquez. You may continue. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent. Completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey Nick! Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Oh god, not again. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying, he did it. Oldbag. The security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. And I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it, with all those bigwigs at that meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my scripts and direction notes. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Wait, how did she know there was a murder? What? That doesn't explain anything. She didn't know there was a murder until she arrived at Studio One, according to what she's saying. But now she's saying she didn't take her script with her to Studio One because there was a murder. That doesn't make any sense. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Miss Vazquez, please continue. Objection! Your Honor! I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Who's the defense attorney here? Huh? Think! Miss Vazquez says she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Order, order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vazquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes. No weapon to break the shaft. It wasn't Hammer that was injured, it was Powers that was injured though, right? Is it this? Powers photo, he's dragging one leg. Powers question mark photo, he's dragging one leg. It's gotta be this, right? Let's try it. You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vazquez. You heard Mr. Manella wrong? You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume. And went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vazquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness! Can you refute this claim? Yeah. Let's see you sneak out of this one, Vazquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? She didn't, did she? Did she? So 5 years ago, Jack Hammer killed someone by accident while they were filming. Vazquez was there, and Vazquez used this to blackmail him. That's not a motive for her to... I'm not seeing this. Nick, no! Saying you can't prove it now would be admitting defeat. She'll get away. But what proof could I possibly have? I don't care if it's impossible. You still have to fight this one. Okay, well, we have proof and we're going to show it, apparently. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vazquez's motive in this murder. Right. It's not the badge. It's not the autopsy report. It's not the photo. It's not the guide map. It's not the spear. It's not the monkey head. It's not the path to glory. It's not the camera. It's gotta be the 5-year-old photo. It's just got to be. It's literally the only thing that even remotely relates to this. It's gotta be this. Oops. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vazquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Vazquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial, it began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Vazquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Vazquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vazquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what, you say? I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vazquez's motive for murder. So, okay, well now, again, I'm going to say she had no motive. I'm going to do it. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vazquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vazquez. What? What? Your Honor! Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Vazquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Oh. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I'm guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere! We're too late! Aha! Miss Vazquez! What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vazquez, please try to remain calm. No. No. How could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No. Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vazquez. No! Please. Please don't die. Please! Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Mr. Edgeworth, where is D. Vazquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Yay! That is all. This court is adjourned. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vazquez. But to think that he tried to frame me for the murder? It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? We'll show evidence. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because he was jealous, right? It's got to be jealousy. No. Maybe. No. Yes! Here's photo of every victory scene in every battle with Steel Samurai. So it's got to be this, right? It's got to be the path to glory. Like, what else would show jealousy? Like a kid's scrapbook showing all of this guy's victories against him, right? It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. You could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth! Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No. I really want to thank you. Vazquez would have gotten away with it if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Oh. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if? They're rivals. Rivals! Right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick! Tell me! What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kid shows again. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're going to watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. There you go. Oh, what a great case. Man, that final confrontation against Vazquez is so cool with Edgeworth stepping in. But what I would tell you, if you're watching live or if you're watching on YouTube, obviously we're going to stop the YouTube recording now and we'll start the next one live on stream immediately. So a little bit of trivia. When Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney first came out in 2001 on the Game Boy Advance, there were only 4 cases, which means this next case was originally the final case in the game and is really the conclusion to the first story. So, get ready, guys, because this next case, the last cases in all of the games are the best ones, usually. There's like very few exceptions, like in the much later games like Apollo Justice, but and this case, right from the beginning, you guys that are watching for the first time, you are going to be shocked by what happens. I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. Thank you for watching. Catch the next one on YouTube tomorrow, and yeah, see you later.